Hello everyone, and welcome to my next video for Dissidia Final Fantasy Opera Omnia. In this one, I'm going to be going into the Abyss Beta Stratum 3 Stage 9 Cosmos difficulty quest, and we're going to be seeing what we can do to complete this one. So yeah, as I kind of just put in the description box on the Layle pull video that I did. No, sorry, the Zac pull video that I did. I didn't do a pull video for Layle. Yeah, I put it in the description on my Zac pulling video that I was a filthy liar, and I decided to pull for Layle EX anyway, even though I said I was going to skip it. I mean, I'm skipping everything from this point forwards until I think Realm. I mean, I honestly considered pulling for like Unit EX, but the amount of farming that I had to do for Serah's like cursed passives and the amount of fucking brain damage that bullshit gave me has really dissuaded me from going for Unit, even though Valifor is like the best animation in the game, and I'm a really big fan of FF10 and of Una specifically. Especially after all of those black magic spheres that I gave her in all of my playthroughs. And in fact, I think I went through one playthrough where I literally fed all of the stat spheres to Una, and I just basically relied on Aeons to clear everything. Aeons are so overpowered, dude. Like, I got to Unaleska, and I think like Bahamut killed one of her forms with like a final form with like a single critical hit that did like 20,000 damage. You know, because Bahamut comes with like break damage limit already, so it's just all sorts of nonsense. So I did actually kind of want to use Una, even though she wasn't perfectly optimal. But yeah, farming for those passives is a real pain, and I'm just not sure I want to put myself through that kind of trauma so soon after I've just got Serah completed. So I'm not sure if I'm going to be pulling for Una or not. I've already got Noctis, I've already got Warrior of Light. I'm not worried about those. I'm skipping Pain, even though Pain's really good, and I can highly recommend her. I'm just not going to be pulling for her myself. I was originally intending to pull for Ashe EX, like Ashelia, who's coming out really soon, because she is one of my favourite characters in FF12. But again, because Serah is so good at what she does, I just don't think I need Ashe. I'd much rather use like Vayne and like Zac or Layle, because you know Zac is Zac. You know, I've really taken a shine to the guy, and Layle is just kind of fun to use, to be honest. So I am actually planning on pulling for Realm when Realm's EX comes out, for two reasons. One of which being that she's unbearably adorable in this game. I think she's really cute, a lot more than she is in FF6 at least, and also because her mechanic's really fun, because she gets a free turn with her sketch debuff every time an enemy takes a turn. And of course Realm's major weakness, and she has a really strong aura as well, it's like 50% max brave and 50% attack, but Realm's major weakness when she was first released, in my opinion, is that one of her attacks was like a single hit brave attack, so she kind of had to have those free turns just in order to dump the brave that she generated by her single hit attacks that didn't do HP damage. Oh, how far we've come in the game since then. Now everything's a freaking HP attack, apart from field burst, but you know, that's beside the point. So yeah, Layle's rework, I mean Realm's rework looks really well. Layle's rework looks amazing, but we're way off from that. But Realm's rework looks really fun, and one thing I think might be fun to do is because Realm's sketch summon ability gives everyone like a huge battery when Realm gets reworked, but it also retains the launch properties if you use it with Pandemonium. I'm picturing a team of Layle, Realm, and Friend Realm just spamming Pandemonium sketch summons and just launching the shit out of everything, and that just sounds like Launch Meta 2.0. And like, I'm not going to try to rely on that, especially since it's at the end of the Cosmos era, and I've had enough. I've had my fill of launching as it is, but it just sounds like a fun alternative way to do stuff. I mean, let's be honest, if you're not using chasers, then you've got Vayne with his like free turns bullshit, and if Ram's a rework with his HP plus, which just doesn't take a turn either. Anyway, I'm rambling now, I'm getting beside the point. So in this one, yeah, I did pull for Layle EX, and I understand that this is not really going to be that good of an instructional video or like a guide on how to clear it with underrated characters. I may do a separate video to do that, because you absolutely do not need Layle EX here. You can get by using like Setzer and like another greatsword character like Vayne or Sephiroth, and then you can use another buffer. Like, I'm bringing Serah because I've found for her passives, and she's an absolute monster if you've got all of her cursed artifacts. She's going to be on my team for like forever. But here I figured it's a good enough opportunity to show off the two banner characters, because I did get Layle EX. It took me like 74 tickets and 55k gems, rip, but I did get it in the end. Thankfully I didn't quite have to go to pity, and I already have Squall from the selfie banner. So Squall rework is kind of interesting. The 100% AoE damage on Renzokuken is really amazing. And Solid Barrel Plus getting the Solitary Lion buff and the 100% overflow is also amazing. There is just one major problem that Squall has. He has 13 skill users in total and no way to recover them. He doesn't have any free skill mechanic, he doesn't have skill restoration, which in this, and his EX doesn't charge fast enough for it to really be worth it in terms of longevity. Like, you've got Zac, and he doesn't regen skill users, but his Apocalypse is up so quickly that you can just use it and he's, you know, he lasts a lot longer. Now, Squall does have really good HP plus if you've got battery on the team, or if you have some way of getting Brave to Squall, because it's like a one-hit Brave attack and it does 50% splash damage. So Squall is going to need to rely on that HP plus to kind of have any kinds of longevity in longer stages like Cosmos, where all the enemies are freaking HP sponges like crazy. And Layle and Serah actually go really well with Squall, because if Squall uses his Solitary Lion buff, then he doesn't really give a shit about his Eye Brave mechanics to get the plus versions of his skills. He always gets them. And Layle gives a battery to the party when he launches, and he launches so freaking often. And then Serah has battery on her Moonlight as well, so that helps Squall get a lot of Brave, so he can kind of just use his plus skills and not burn out on ability users that quickly. Yeah, Layle's EX is really fun. Like, I'll probably, for those of you who don't know how chasing works, I'll probably explain it a little bit during the video. But yeah, I'm bringing the Squall friend as well, because the last wave is like 3 characters, and yeah, it's a triple mannequin wave, and that 100% AoE damage is just going to be really clutch for going into that. So anyway, without further ado, let's get into the quest and let's see how well we do. So I'm going to be starting off with a field burst, of course. That gets the force debuff and slow debuff. Squall is absolutely going to be using Solid Barrel Plus because we need Solitary Lion. And Serah is going to take this opportunity to get wounded while she can, so she can also dump HP. So you know what, I'm actually going to Brave Plus with Squall here. It doesn't really do that much, actually. And hopefully this is going to launch so Squall can dump all of that juicy bravery. Yeah, there we go. There we go. Serah honestly might as well use Wound again. Just going to Brave Plus for the battery so Serah doesn't get broken. Okay, this is where this thing gets a mite annoying. Yeah, I'm just going to use another Solid Barrel Plus. I really want this thing gone. The more damage we do, the faster, the better. Yeah, I'm just going to use Ultimate Arrow. So here we use Gayborg. Gayborg! Sorry, wrong series. Assault Trigger. Why not? I mean, you know what, I'm actually going to go HP Plus here, because we just used that Brave attack, so we can kind of save on skills a little bit. Oh man, I really hate when this thing's turns start getting out of control. It's really, it's not good. I'm just going to Moonlight again. So at least one good thing about Serah is that her, I mean, look at this. Yeah, we're taking no damage. Like, Serah's dual poisons are just all sorts of nonsense. Like, you can really mitigate the amount of damage that you take that way. And we're absolutely going to launch here, because I don't want to waste a turn using like a brave attack with Layle. And we can just Moonlight here for the battery, so it doesn't get broken. You know what? I'm going to Brave Plus here, because we should have the X with Layle, and yeah, next turn's a launch anyway. Except I miscalculated. Oh well. No one ever said it was going to be a perfect run, right? Right? Well, whatever. So yeah, the thing about Layle's EX skill is that, well, for a start, it shares a property with Noctis' Shooting Star Plus. It's one of the only 2 skills in the game that actually, as far as I know, inflicts 50 chase units worth of damage to everything on the screen. So it sets up everything for launch, which is really good. But not only that, it gives him a frame buff Kilovatian Heart, which gives 40% attack for Max Brave, and also increases the amount of chase units everyone deals with their attacks by 3. So chase units are basically, it's what sets up an enemy to get launched. Every enemy has an invisible chase unit threshold that basically determines how easy they are to launch, and basically every attack you deal to them deals a certain number of chase units, and every turn that passes decreases the accumulated number of units by 1, and as soon as you reach an enemy's threshold, then they get launched. So Layle's Force debuff will halve the enemy's chase HP, so it's it's basically twice as easy to launch them. But his EX is Aura, his framed buff, which acts as a party aura on his EX, actually increases the amount of chase damage that every attack deals to the enemy. So in other words, it makes everything even easier to launch, and it means that anything inflicted with Force will get insta-launched by energy gain. It's honestly just basically as if Layle wasn't ridiculous enough with the chases already, it just makes him twice as bonkers basically. So this is why I wanted to save Ultimate Arrow, except we won't quite do as much damage because we don't have a debuff aura on the ghosts. Yeah, B gets its next turn, so that's that's whatever. I can just use HP plus. And that's convenient. I'll just use a Soul Trigger to take this thing out. Okay, so this enemy is a real pain. Let's firstly just make sure that it's not immune to attack down, because they're immune to some. Okay, so it's immune to poison. So we'll hit it with a Moonlight to get the debuff aura up. And yeah, you see here, it's ready to get launched. If I inflict the Force debuff on this ghost, then combined with Layle EX, it's literally going to get launched every turn. Which is exactly as stupid as it sounds. I love it. It's basically a damage race at this point. Sorry, you'll just have to excuse the door squeaking in the background. But yeah, we basically need to kill this thing as soon as we can, honestly. Because if we don't, it's going to bring its friends back, and ain't nobody got time to deal with that. So yeah, we could use Gay Bulk, but I'm honestly just going to use energy gain. This is part of the reason that Shiva is quite helpful as well, because we get the speed bonus. It's just literal launch fever. I used a brave attack with Serah, so oh, lama lama ding dong. I was trying to use a brave attack with Serah in the launch so that I could actually dump HP off of wound, but unfortunately we have no such luck. Do we need to use an energy gain here? I actually think we can kind of get away with not using it. Should just be able to use a Brave Plus. Yeah, there we go. There we go. So yeah, I can imagine that wave is a lot more difficult if you don't have Layle X. Okay, so this guy is honestly really annoying, because he will, like, his first move is Maelstrom, which will just remove everyone's buffs. So the first thing I'm going to do is, of course, get Force up on him. I really don't like that, like, energy gain is not Brave HP anymore. Like energy gain, I mean not energy gain, sorry. Field burst, like Layle's skill 1 is like a brave attack and it's one hit. Like the force debuff is so powerful, but it's really crappy that you kind of really can't do much of anything with it. Okay, so this Tiamat's defense is all sorts of redonkulous. So honestly it's a really good job that we've got Serah and Layle along for their auras and their debuffs and what have you. So yeah, they're just going to use Maelstrom and just remove everyone's buffs. So we're probably going to do dick all in terms of damage to it. So what I actually want to do is I'm going to use Moonlight to get everyone's buffs up into battery, and then next turn we'll use Ultimate Arrow, because the framed debuff on there actually decreases enemy defense. So yeah, Launch Fever continues. Layle is just so ridiculous, like, as a character. So you see how the constant launches help Squall conserve his limited skill uses. Because he can just keep doing this. And now it's going to charge up. But that's fine. Oh right, it got rid of force. That's kind of annoying. But whatever. If it doesn't have force, we'll just use his EX to force the launch. So Serah's framed buff is about to run out. She really needs to use wound. There we go, perfect. And now we're in the final wave. So what I'm actually going to do here is I'm going to make sure that Layle gets off at least one sort of he at least gets off one field burst, because it's just going to help launch everyone, even during summon. Yeah, and everyone's set up for a launch already. So this is actually kind of perfect. So I'm actually going to go into summon here, because Layle's EX aura will continue to be active while Layle doesn't have a turn, but then when Layle actually does get a turn, I'm going to swap him out for my other Squall, and we're just going to, like, Renzoku can spam Renzo to win, basically. So I'm going to summon here, and I'm absolutely going to use Ultimate Arrow because it's like 100% AoE damage. Who do we take out first? I'll take out Cloud first. Or I'll aim at Cloud, basically. And I'm gonna just dump all the bravery. Do we want those as a why not? Squall's gonna get another turn, so I'll just brave with everyone. So these enemies resist magical damage, which is really not ideal. Oh, that's interesting. So Cloud set up for a launch. So what I didn't realize is that Renzo will actually, even when it does splash damage, it will actually count as being hit on everyone, even though you only do the brave hits on one target. That's actually really good for me to know. I didn't realize that. And because of this, honestly, because everyone's almost dead anyway, I'm just going to swap Serah out for my other Squall. Oh right, everyone's dead already. I think I went a bit overkill on saving skills. But I mean, at least the last wave was a wash, right? Okay. So I mean, you know, probably not the greatest score, and certainly not the greatest video ever. But at least it shows you the kinds of shenanigans that you can actually do when you've got Layle X on your side. I will say that I don't think he's as strong as Serah, Zac, or Vayne, because honestly they just put out such ridiculous amounts of damage that it's unreal, really. The ways they break the game is ridiculous, especially Vayne. Like, the guy's a complete monster. But it's still pretty fun. I think one of the major weaknesses of Layle is that later on in Cosmos Quest, from what I've seen, I think enemies are going to get even faster. So outside of summon, it's going to be really hard to line up those 3-turn launches, even with the debuffs and with speed auras and stuff. But regardless, I mean, the sheer fact that launch just pad your score by such a ridiculous degree, like, I can imagine that if you don't have Layle at all, then it's kind of difficult. If you don't have Layle and you don't have Vayne, it's probably going to be really hard to get to this 300,000 score. It can definitely be done. You know, I've definitely seen people do it. But yeah, this was basically just an opportunity to show off Layle and Squall. So yep, I hope you all enjoyed watching, and I'll catch you all in the next one. See ya.